The emerging Asia Cup T20 tournament is about to get underway. It's very similar to the Asia Cup tournament for the senior sides in cricket. Countries around Asia competing for glory. There are two groups here, and as we would know it, India and Pakistan are in the same group. The tournament is being held in Oman, but what's making the headlines is not the upcoming stars ready to burst onto the international scene, but a statement that Pakistan A captain Mohammad Haris made. Take a look at that first.
It's the first time ever that we are not allowed to talk about India in the dressing room. You don't have to think about India. We have to think about other teams as well. I have been in the senior Pakistan team, played the last World Cup as well. It creates so much pressure.
He says India as an opponent cannot be so much as even discussed, talked about, not even mentioned. That topic is taboo. That topic is banned in the dressing room. I want you to just think about that for a second. One of the things about sport, of course, is competition, rivalry and contest. That's the bedrock of even evolving as teams, as players, getting better and improving. It's what makes sports fans come and watch these matches. But this shocking admission by the captain of Pakistan A is basically him admitting a huge flaw in the sporting system of the country itself. Look, we all know the geopolitical relations between India and Pakistan are rocky, to say the least. There have been no bilateral ties between the two countries as far as cricket is concerned for decades now. So the animosity is understandable. But saying that even a strategic discussion involving mentioning India is banned is rather preposterous. And that's what many felt, because criticism for that statement came in thick and fast. I wouldn't put the blame on Haris here. He's talking about a scenario that exists in the dressing room. It's a mere admission. He says all that ever does is build pressure. It builds anxiety. That's the reason why they do not discuss India at all. Yes, there's always pressure in a contest. That's what is the beauty of sport. Pressure is an aspect every athlete and team has to deal with on a regular basis at professional sporting structures. But imagine to what extent it must be when it comes to Pakistan facing India that they are told to not even talk about the opponents. This despite Pakistan A being defending champions. They won the last edition of this emerging Asia Cup tournament, beating whom? India by 128 runs. This was in the ODI format against a Yash Dul-led India side. I'll tell you why this comment is disastrous in the current scenarios, because Pakistan is set to host an ICC event after nearly 3 decades. The ICC Champions Trophy in 2025, that's the talk about right now. There are renovations underway in the venues that is set to host the matches even as we speak. ICC has sanctioned the budgeting for all of this. They even went over to do the inspections recently, supervise the progress that's made so far. But here's the snag. Will India travel to Pakistan? That was always the concern, but PCB was firm that things will fall into place in this regard. They have the backing of the ICC after all, the governing body. There were reports of a hybrid model for this also that started emerging some weeks ago, with every match being hosted in Pakistan, barring the India games, including the big one against Pakistan. Then some days ago, fresh reports again came out that if India did not consent to travel to Pakistan, then the knockout matches, that is, if India gets there, would have to be moved out of Pakistan, including the possibility of the final as well. PCB, the board, still standing its ground and wanting this situation not to happen. The matches not to be taken out of the country. It just means that the entire tournament isn't being held there. They lose revenue. They don't have the full broadcast rights. It's a loss. No host country would want to bear that and be in that situation. But here's what's happened recently. ECB, the England Cricket Board, has stepped in to weigh in on the matter as an invested party, of course, and here's what they had to say.
If you play the Champions Trophy without India or Pakistan, the broadcast rights aren't there. That's the key. I know Pakistan are expecting India to travel. But also, when was the last time Pakistan hosted any kind of ICC trophy? Hopefully, we can have the fullest possible competition in Pakistan. If that's not possible, we know there are options available.
So a few things to understand here. Let me break this down for you. First, what is ECB saying? They're saying that for an ICC event to be a success, India has to be there. Second, for monies to come in, which includes everything from the sponsors to the rights to revenue to the ticketing, etc., India needs to play Pakistan. If none of that is happening, the tournament cannot take place in Pakistan. He pretty much says that there can be no middle path here. Now, why is he so concerned about this? Because every board benefits from a financially successful ICC event. That's how the module is. And how financially successful it will be depends on India's attendance. That's why everything seems to be hanging by the balance given the scenario that we're in now. And statements like the one that Mohammad Haris just made can only sensitivize the situation further, strike a raw nerve in an otherwise strained, delicate relationship that ICC and cricket is hinging on at the moment.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election, explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained, every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.